I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for having a roof over my head and a new baby cousin.
How's it going, friends and family of the internet? Welcome to the Real AF TV podcast, the show about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000. Well, usually that's what we do, but we got another holiday special here for you, the Thanksgiving special 2020. I'm Josh LaBaw.
And I am Tim Wagner.
Tim, Thanksgiving. I love me some Thanksgiving. I really, I love food. I love food. If you go to joshlabaugh.com/store, you'll find out that I just did a whole design on food this month.
Oh, yeah.
There's a plug.
Cross promote.
Plugins.
That's the word. Cross promotion.
Promote. There it is. Yes. And speaking of cross promotion, the Real AF TV store has masks on it. Neck gaiters.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll be showing those off on social medias here this month. So if you haven't seen them, check them out on that.
And if you haven't wore one of those, you're just wearing those other masks. Like, the gaiters are the way to go. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, dude. If you don't have a neck gaiter, you're missing out for sure. I agree. I love them.
Yeah, you can breathe well. I'm not sitting here trying to sell this hard. I'm saying like that's what I use, and they're oh Jesus, I have some of that blue dew, man.
The blue dew's back, baby.
The blue dew, but they are they're so much better. You don't have to have anything on your ears. You can if you want to. I see a lot of the fishermen will use them, and they'll put their hat on. And then they'll pull it up like over their hat in the back. So you only have like a sliver of the eyes, and they can help with like sunburn and stuff. I know some of them are UV.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think ours are.
I don't know if ours are rated either. I can look into that. Cause yeah, I know that was one of my biggest things, like going into this whole thing. I was like, man, fishermen are hooked up, because if you're a fisher, you have gator, you probably already have one of these to keep yourself from getting sun reflected off the lake and burning your face. I was like, geez, this is perfect. So I was like, we got to get them for Real AF TV for sure.
And the material is way different than a regular mask. One thing I like about them a lot is that I wear sunglasses with mine a lot. And when I wear the gaiter with the sunglasses, they don't fog up as much as a regular mask does. Like, I cannot wear a mask and sunglasses at the same time.
Yeah, I've had that same.
Yeah, result. my regular job, I'm on the road a lot, so I need sunglasses on, and I'm a delivery driver, so I get out of the vehicle and go in places, and I'll still have my shades on, but I got to pull the mask up and stuff. And with the old school mask, like if the mask comes up, the shades go up, but I don't have to. I don't have to mess with it with the gaiter, so it's dope.
Yeah, it is dope. All right. Let's stop selling well, we weren't really selling. That was actually like just genuine. Like, oh, and by the way, these masks are super soft. They're like this micro. Anyways, I'm going to stop selling it. Let's get into the freaking Thanksgiving special. We're not going to make this the mask special. So, Tim, let's talk Thanks Days.
Thanks
I didn't know that. Like, I did a bunch of history research on that. So if you're not into history, fuck you.
Yeah, you came to the wrong place if you didn't want to learn about stuff.
And there'll be some fishing talk later down the road, because we're gonna get into food. But seriously, like, I did a lot of history research on this, all from history.com or Britannica. But I got two sources, so don't at me, bro. Let's just have some fun here. They were seriously called Thanks Days. That's why I said, let's talk Thanks Days. Like, I wasn't being goofy. They were seriously called Thanks Days. I didn't know this, but much like anything, they're religious based. Seems like every celebration is religious based. I honestly thought Thanksgiving wasn't.
I didn't think it was. I mean, maybe I remember it wrong, but I even went to a Catholic school for up until 4th grade. And I don't remember them ever being like, this is a religious holiday. They probably were. I probably got so burnt out of all that shit. Everything was religious. But
right. Every day was religious at that. So
yeah, it was just constant. But um I didn't know it was religious. Was it multiple days?
so there were, yeah, so it's not it wasn't always one day. And I'll get into that later for sure, because yes, it wasn't just one day like it is now. That's why they were called thanks days, because I'll just say the president at the time. I'll just say the president, but really it was like a mayor or some sort of local authority would declare a thanks day. So basically, every day, everyone would take the day off and thank the God for victories, mostly war victories. And I was like, holy shit, there's no
Did it?
war around Thanksgiving either. Like, as in, like, we don't tie it to that anymore. But that's where it started. It was like thanking the gods for war victories is pretty much how it all started.
That's crazy. That's heavy. Like,
right?
to just all of a sudden the governor or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you call him back then just pauses and like, hear ye. We shall we shall all give thanks today to the gods for letting us win the wars. And then you're just like, yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to work today. God, yeah. Thanks, God.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks, war gods.
Thanks, war gods, for a day off.
Yeah, we're victorious. It's time to party, bud. Get that turkey going. Did they eat turkey? Did you learn about the foods?
Yeah, I did. And we'll get into food. But before we do that, I was actually just going to ask you about the celebrations of in general. Like you just said, this religion undertone and same, or not undertone, this like religious beginning. And same for me. I had no idea. That doesn't happen in my house. I had no idea. Like we take it for what we in the United States think of it as, like harvest celebrations. So we just gorge ourselves basically and hang out with family. I mean, what do you guys do?
Same shit. I think that's basically like that's an American holiday. They're just like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever day we're celebrating, everybody's just like, what's going on? Oh yeah, no, like, oh yeah, we're just all gonna make food. Whatever it is. You think about any of our celebrations, it's just like everybody make food when
Right.
we're all gonna get together, we're gonna hang out, and we're gonna eat too much and we're gonna drink, and that's it.
And
I did hear
watch football.
right, football, that's the thing. I do watch football.
Yeah.
I wish that we got a little bit more variety. Not that
Why? Other than just the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions?
yeah, same shit every year. They're just like,
Yeah.
here's what you get to watch, especially this year. Like those teams are riddled with injuries. So they're just like,
Oh, yeah.
hey, do you want to watch a third string quarterback that's like you've never heard of before? I fucking guess it's better than nothing.
Not really, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, whatever, sure. But yeah, I heard one tradition that I might have to try this year because I don't remember the movie at all. I saw it a long time ago, but they were talking about Son-in-Law, the Pauly Shore movie.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's their Thanksgiving tradition. Like we all get together and watch Son-in-Law.
What?
And
Who told you this? This is what?
I saw it on the internet someplace. I can't remember where it was, but they're just like Thanksgiving tradition. One Instagram or something, somebody posted it that I knew.
That is like a Thanksgiving movie, isn't it? Like they go home for Thanksgiving break?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's well. They go. I haven't seen the movie for so long, but
Oh, me neither.
I think that that's Pauly Shore is the new boyfriend, and I don't think the parents have met him yet, and they're going there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, see, that's what I think the
Yeah.
concept of the movie is too. Let's just say this: ain't nothing wrong with little weasel for your Halloween.
The Weasel.
For your Thanksgiving.
The Weasel.
Oh God! Still, best role ever is in Goofy movie. His best role is in Goofy movie.
Oh yeah, Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Kisa.
Just eats
Oh,
like easy cheese can spray
yep.
cheese
Spray
like
cheese.
it's nobody's business.
Oh, it's the grossest thing. I mean, I love that stuff, but that's just nasty.
Yeah, I love that stuff like on Doritos,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
that's the
don't
move.
I don't think I've put it on anything else ever.
Club crackers. You gotta do the club crackers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh, that's good. Okay,
Mhm.
back to Thanksgiving. So, I like the son-in-law. New. We don't have anything new in our family though. Like we don't have any. It's seriously just like turkey and stuffing and stuff. But we'll get into the food more. Back to the history. In 1854, 30 states and U.S. territories had Thanksgiving on the books already, and that's where I was kind of going with the like, you know, it was local. It wasn't necessarily the president. It was like left to the states. In fact, some of the earlier presidents, they wouldn't even declare a national Thanksgiving Day because they were worried about the like religious background of it and the separation of church and state thing they were trying to stick to. So they were just like, no, that's you guys in New England. That's just do your thing.
Weird.
Keep it local.
That's weird.
Yeah, I was really surprised to hear that. Then the lady who wrote "Mary Had a Little Lamb," like Mary had a little lamb.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
That was a
Sarah
nice rendition.
Josepha. You like that?
Yeah.
A little lamb, Mary had a little lamb. Look
So
out for a Christmas record coming for the next one. So anyway, so Sarah Josephia Hale, that's her name. They
hey,
kind of credited her because she grew up in New England with these like local Thanksgiving days, and so it was kind of a big deal to her. And she had the idea of like the annual holiday thing, and in 1827 published a novel, The North Wood: A Tale of New England. See what I mean? New England.
mm-hmm.
So obviously, all the new colonies, the whole New England area, they were into this. But the presidents still were like, no national holiday. But she wrote in that book, she wrote a whole chapter about this fall tradition. So it was fall still uh, for them. So I didn't get really into that whole like New England and what they did. But being a fall tradition, you can insert that this was a harvest celebration. It wasn't just for the war celebration.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But then, so she did that in 1827. That was when she wrote that in the novel. And then she ended up writing to Lincoln and the Secretary of State at the time, William Stewart, in the summer of 1863. And then there were already, and this is what you asked earlier. This is exactly what I was talking about. There's multiple days because Lincoln had already declared, because this is during the Civil War time.
Yeah.
Lincoln had already declared a couple thanks days over the spring and summer.
A couple?
A couple.
So you're
Yeah.
just like randomly. Oh, so like I was thinking like it was further back too. When you're talking about like the victories, I guess I don't know why I would think that it was farther back.
Because
But
of our traditional thought of Thanksgiving. So, no, keep going on that
yeah,
thought. But it's because of like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans that like were taught right away.
yeah, it's just weird to think that Lincoln is just like 4 score and 7 years ago. It's we're gonna have a fucking party again. I forgot where I was going with that speech. I'll finish it
No.
later. Like it's time for another thanks day. Let's.
Right. We have another victory party.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Okay. So yeah, there were a couple already that had happened in 1827. I mean, sorry, 1863. For the spring and summer, because again, the Civil War was going on. So he'd just be like, Victory Day. But they called it Thanks Days.
That's crazy. And just like
Hmm.
so every time something good happened, They're just like, thanks days. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
another one.
Yeah.
Let me get my big hat.
And then he went, party on, Wayne.
Right, party on,
And
Wayne.
there's a better Bill and Ted joke in there somewhere, but I haven't seen Bill and Ted in so long.
Right. And
Damn it.
fuck yeah, I was trying to think of it. Like, what does he even say? He says the whole speech, and then he goes, "And party on, dudes!" and the whole auditorium's like, "Shit, yeah, Abe."
Oh,
Have you
that
seen
is
the new
awesome.
one?
No, have you?
Me? No.
No.
I hear,
I'd
like,
watch
I
it
see
though.
a lot of reviews that are like, "It's so good," and just based off of like the small trailer that I saw, I was like, I'm not sold off the trailer, but not saying it's bad. Like,
Right.
it
This the
just,
trailer didn't do it for you?
I mean, I didn't really laugh at the trailer. I guess the one that I saw,
Mm-hmm.
but
No, I
mm,
got you.
maybe,
Yeah.
hopefully, they're just smart about it and not one of those people that gives you the sizzle reel and gives you all the good jokes right
Right
away.
away. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, those are the worst.
Fucking hate them.
Man, yeah. Let's leave those behind and
Yup.
move. Okay, so it's 1863, right? Lincoln's already said, let's party a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
The Sarah Hale is writing about Thanksgiving. She goes, let's make this official. I want an annual day. So in 1863, October 3rd, that was it. Finally, a president declared it. Was like, cool, let's do it. It was because after Gettysburg, which of course, history, big battle, Civil
Yep.
War.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was October 3rd, and then he's just like, Thanksgiving Day will be celebrated on the 26th of November, which is the same as this year.
Right.
I
Yeah.
wonder, I don't know how often it actually, because it's really the fourth Thursday of
Yeah,
November.
right.
Like that's its like official declaration of when we celebrate it. So it can't be
Yeah.
the 26th every year. That's impossible.
Which is super fucking confusing, man. I don't know why we do stuff like that where they're just like the fourth Thursday. So like, and
After
depending
the
on
full moon of October.
right, the harvest moon. I just don't understand holidays like that, and some of the bigger events too, where they're just like, yes, it'll be on a Thursday, and you're just like, a Thursday? Was a Thursday more of the weekend back in the day? Like, I gotta
Yeah,
go
I don't
back to
know.
work. I get
Right.
one day
Tomorrow.
off, and then I work, and then I get the weekend off. Like, and
Right.
some places have that as the floating holiday. Well, actually, most places. It's kind of dumb that I still gotta work because like a lot of the pickups are closed and stuff. But it's just so weird, and I don't know. The people who plan this shit, you think they could change it up? It's like the Super Bowl too.
Right.
Like, you got 2 weeks before the Super Bowl is played,
Mm-hmm.
and it still has to be on a Sunday. Can we do that shit on a Saturday?
I
Like,
know.
it's a huge party
Seriously.
day, and
All right.
you're like, let's party Sunday night, and then
And
you
then
gotta
be fucking shitty for work on
yeah
Monday.
go to work for and like, just let's just have it on a Saturday. You have playoff games on Saturdays.
Right.
What the shit? Anyways, thanks
Fucking
days. Let's
yeah, anyways, back to thanks days. But so the funny thing is it's like that's the holiday, right? Like that was when American Thanksgiving happened. It's 1863 in in October. And he was like, yeah, next month let's party. On Thursday though. And this is why like the funny voices and the like this has to go back so much further is because really, what I was taught in school, I think what we were taught in school, you already alluded to it in the beginning, is like Americans have this traditional thought of like the 1621 harvest with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and everybody coming together for a jolly old good time. That was
Yep.
1621.
Yeah.
That's
That
18.
right. That's
Yeah.
what I picture when you think about it, because that's all I remember being taught about. They're just like,
Mm-hmm.
the Pilgrims, they all come over on their boats, see, and then they get together with the Native Americans that already lived there, and and they're just like, hey, let's all sit together at this big old table, and this thing over here is called a cornucopia.
Yeah. Who's ever actually had a cornucopia at Thanksgiving? And I love that
Like a legit
we're
one.
always being told holiday by a 1920s radio personality. Like that's how we were taught history, just in case anybody's wondering what the weird voice is all the time.
That's just like everything old. That's how everything is narrated in my head. If it's old,
Me too.
it doesn't even like factually make sense. Like it could be like initially when I was joking about it, I was picturing like for no reason like Caesar times. Like because when you said gods and
Right.
and I'm still in that like 1920 newspaper
Radio voice. Yeah.
like the guy on the corner, extra.
Right. Yeah. The newsy voice.
The gods have been good to us. It's time for another thanks day.
And you're just dressed up in a toga with that's it. It's the only thing he's wearing is just a toga. You're like, what?
Got a big like stone like Moses, just like some shit carved into it.
Right. That's the newspaper.
Hot off the press. Hot off the press. Ting 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 ting.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's the whole reason why this is confusing to like talk about the 1800s is like when the holiday became, but we're essentially taught that like even before America was a country, there was this harvest festival that happened, and it's not that didn't happen. It's just like that's not how the actual day came about. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just like that's sort of the feast and the harvest and everything like that. You're using that as the example to teach people about it, but it's just like really that you never talked about like thanking the gods for war. It sounds like a Viking thing. Like there was no mention of that, but I did wonder too, like back in Roman times and stuff like that with multiple gods and stuff like that. I was like, I wonder if the thanks day goes back that far. I should have looked that up, but I didn't. So I'm with you there on the thought pattern.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That would be cool if they had like a thanks day for every god back then. Because damn, we'd be partying
party
all
a
the
whole
time.
month, dude.
That'd be like some of the people nowadays where they're taking off religious, like not saying anything about them, but like you hear in like TV and stuff where they're making jokes about like Jewish people and like the people like not knowing they're religious and it's just or their religion, and they're like, oh, it's another Jewish holiday or whatever. Like this is Yom Kippur or something, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, right.
And like, we got to take off for this again, and it's just like some obscure god, like some guy back then just drinking all day, and they're just like, Sophiles, are you coming to work today? I'm just like, no, it's a god of shoes. Thanks day.
So
pay homage.
Yep, I gotta stay home and drink all day.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of shoes.
The cobbler of the town just takes the day off. He's the only one.
Yep. No, you guys wouldn't understand. I'm like real. There's a bunch of gods. Like, yeah, you guys like the Norse gods. I like these other ones.
I keep my gods more grounded, if you know what I mean, huh? But
yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, the 1621 harvest was a harvest festival, celebration is what we're taught, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, and I didn't read that it didn't happen, but it was like the Plymouth colonists and the Native Americans, the Wampanoag, were the tribe that are said to have done that original Thanksgiving. And yeah, most things you read are like, yeah, that happened. I mean, it seems like there was actually this peaceful harvest time sharing, and then a few years later, it said that there could have been a treaty out of that because of the peacefulness that happened. So it had a
Mm.
good connotation about it. And then King Phillips came around and was like, let's start a war. And I
Yeah.
think Americans know where that goes. Ugh.
Yeah.
Pulls collar from neck. Yay.
Mm. I was taught that there was a nice dinner.
Right. Yeah. Which again, everybody seems to be sort of on the same page that happened. As far as like, the research I found, it's just it didn't last. Of course, a king came and fucked it up.
Right.
So the other funny thing, this is where we're going to get into the food part of it, because of that being a harvest festival, which again, we're not farmers, but I think that's how we celebrate it. That's how, again, abundance of food, family, just like getting ready for the winter that is about to come, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I celebrate it. We celebrate it over on my side of the family. And I didn't even you mentioned it, but turkey. We don't do turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do turkey. Everybody does turkey that I know. Seems like that probably wasn't the original bird. I have no idea how turkey got in the mix, but it's literally called Turkey Day now by a lot of Americans. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, that's when you eat the turkey, man. That's everybody makes turkey for Thanksgiving, and now like they even like the governor pardon turkeys and shit.
Oh yeah, the fucking president of the United States pardons a turkey.
Yeah, don't like. Is it just the president, or I thought there was
No,
like local states too, where they're
locals.
just like, hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna pardon one turkey, and you're just like,
Mhm.
hooray, you made it this year. You know,
And
it's
then
like,
they send it back to the farms that probably get killed anyway. I'm
yeah,
sure it's
right,
just a show.
yeah. You congratulations, you get to keep living in this shithole.
But yeah, you're right. That's I totally forgot about that. There's the pardoning of the turkey and all that stuff, and yeah, it's not just the nation one. There's
Right.
definitely local celebrations and stuff that do that. It's so
Mm-hmm.
crazy how synonymous that bird has come to be with Thanksgiving Day, when more than likely it was geese and ducks and things like that. Stuff you could go out and hunt was more than likely what they originally had.
Well, you could. I don't know if you looked into it, but you can hunt turkeys.
Oh yeah, you can. It's just way easier to get geese and duck. Like they're just more of them, is what the research basically said. Is
Mm,
like it was just easier to get duck and geese. So it's probably more likely what there was. But if anybody knows about birds, if anybody looks at a duck and a goose, you know how much more a turkey can get. And I'm talking wild turkeys, wild ducks, wild geese. Geese can get big, but they can't get turkey big, man.
no, turkeys are little dinosaurs. Their footprints, dude. That looks like if you see their feet prints like in the snow, you're just like, God damn, there's a dinosaur just came through here. Like it's
Oh
just the
yeah.
3-toe look. It looks like a dinosaur
Hmm.
foot.
Oh, dude, for sure.
They're
Like,
assholes too.
oh my God, they're so aggressive. They're so smart. Like, they just know what's going on. I grew up on a hobby farm back in like the middle school, elementary school area. I had a friend who had a hobby farm and they had turkeys on it. Dude, those things were crazy. They tried to go sledding with us and shit. And like, they had no fear whatsoever.
No, I had this was months ago already, but they chased me in like to my fucking truck. Like
Oh,
I went
while you were
to
working.
yeah, I went to a delivery and I came out and like all of a sudden I heard some noise behind me and I look back and there's like two big ass birds, like their heads are like a little bit higher than my waist and they're like running at me. And I'm 6'2", so like that's a
Yeah.
pretty tall bird. You're like, what the fuck? And they're just like charging me. And when I would turn around, they'd kind of stop. Like when I squared up with them, they're like, fuck, what's he gonna do? But when I turned around, they're like, yeah, keep walking. And then they like chase me. And I turned around and I just kept shit talking them. I'm like, I'll punch you in the face, bird. and they like chased me all the way up to the truck, and then they stopped moving. Like they started walking away when I got in the truck, but when I started driving away again, then they started rushing the truck. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
And this truck is a loud ass diesel. Like,
oh yeah, this is a real deal. Like truck. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a tractor trailer thing.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
a
drive a
step.
real truck, man.
It's a step van with a big ass Cummins diesel in it, and it's loud as shit. And like when I drive past the gaggle of geese, is that what it is? Gaggle?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
gaggle
trying-
of gay geese. Yeah, that's how I know
Yeah.
it. It's from South Park.
So I had to drive past. Like if I drive past geese, they all run. Like they take off because it's loud, and the turkeys.
Oh
are
yeah,
like,
for sure.
get out of here.
They're seriously like puff chesting your truck. Like they just puff up and they're just like, "What, bro? Come at me."
Right, but only when you leave. They're just like the
When you come in, they're not.
right.
They're like, whatever.
Yeah, they're the drunk guy that just talks a big game and won't do shit. Like waits until you start walking away to be like, "That's what I
Right, and
fucking thought. That's what I thought."
Oh my God, that's awesome. Have you ever done anything else? Have you ever cooked a duck or a goose or anything like that for Thanksgiving?
No, I honestly like. I cannot I know that I've had duck and goose.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember either. It's been so rare and so long ago that I don't even know. Like not even for a holiday. Like I just don't know.
Oh,
if I've
was it
had
during
the-
hunting season that like somebody actually cooked wild stuff?
Yeah, I know I had like a goose
Mm-hmm.
beef stick that my
Mm,
brother-in-law had. But those beef
Mhm.
sticks are like cut with other meat, so it's not just straight goose. Like
Yeah.
I do not remember ever having like goose or duck breast.
Yeah, it's pretty lean.
But
It's and dark. It's
yeah,
dark meat. Like it's different, but
and the turkey
yeah, I
too.
cooked a
Like
duck once, but I think it was for Christmas. I don't think it was for Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, it was definitely for Christmas.
yeah,
I kind of fucked it up. I was pretty drunk.
I've had turkey legs in a lot of like places.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you go to the state fair or whatever, they got the turkey legs. But
Mm-hmm.
as
Makes
far
you feel
as
like a fucking barbarian, dude.
yeah, as far as turkey goes, like I barely eat any of it. It's always there, and I barely touch it. Just it's. I mean, mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
your shit's dry.
That's, dude, seriously.
If you're listening, it's dry.
Sorry. Gravy. There's gravy for a reason.
I eat it with the gravy, and I only eat a little bit. But they always make ham too.
Oh, during Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we always have ham and turkey, and then like your other traditional stuff, mashed taters, green bean casserole.
Ooh, with the crunchies on top.
With the crunchies, you gotta have those French onion.
Seriously. Oh my God, we just made a hot dish with that stuff on top. It's the fucking best.
The hot dish.
Back to hot dishes. You want to hear us talk about hot dishes? Go find that episode of Fall Cooking on our YouTube channel. We talk hot dishes for sure.
Hey,
but-
the side note, talk about fish and stuff. So Carl's Bait and Tackle, shout out to those fellas on Instagram. Carl Von Dribble is the guy, because you know you got Kevin Van Dam. He's like he's kind of like a parody, but he's got his own like bait and tackle shop, and just a funny character that they made. And they got this mystery tackle box hat guy, so it's the MTB hat guy. And they had posted something about some new YouTube show that they got coming out, so they were talking about Minnesotan words. And they were like this and that, and they said, what are some other words that you say in Minnesota? So I had to let them know, because they had a couple not there. So I commented, I said
nice.
that we say hot dish, not casserole. We say pop, not soda. And
Mm-hmm.
and I said, and if I catch a small fish or MTB hat guy pulls his pants down, for sure some lady's gonna say, "Oh, for cute."
Yes.
they kind of
Uh,
they kind of give that hat guy shit, so I was taking shots at him
mhm.
too.
Right. Yeah. That's like the shtick.
Yep, tiny
That's
shtick.
awesome.
Boom.
Woo! We got the dad jokes tonight. um, so yeah, the dry ass turkey. It's always a thing. We tried doing it once, and just I literally peeled the skin off and stuck teaspoons of butter, tablespoons, whatever the fucking whatever a stick of
Yeah.
butter. I stuck it underneath the skin.
Yep.
The goddamn stupid thermometer thing that's supposed to pop when it's ready
Yeah.
didn't
Didn't
fucking
pop.
work. So overcooked it.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's the hard part because it's poultry and people
Mm-hmm.
are scared of it, and that's what my parents
Mm-hmm.
do. My
Mm-hmm.
parents do the same shit with all the meats. Like when I'm
All
cooking,
the
like
meats.
yeah, like when we're grilling and stuff, we'll be making pork,
Yeah.
and I'll have like pork chops on there, and it'll be on there like we're like 10 minutes in, and I'm like, they're done, and they're just like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, these are gonna be juicy and delicious. And then I pull them off the grill and we eat them, and everybody's like, those are really good. And I'm like, yep, because you don't have to cook them for 20 minutes.
Oh, it's such a real thing, dude. It is such a real problem. Like, dad grilling is a thing. It's like we're gonna do everything we can to buck that trend because the overcooked dry steak and like all that stuff, it's gotta go. It's gotta go, man.
Yeah, I mean, for sure with like steak and pork chop, like pork and hamburger, like
Mm-hmm.
or beef. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook it that high to make sure that all the bacteria is dead. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're fine. But the poultry, that gets trickier.
Yeah.
Chicken and turkey, that's where it can get. Even
Mm-hmm.
chicken breasts can get dry because you have to cook it
Mm-hmm.
such a high temperature. But the
Yeah, and
key is brining. You got to
yeah.
brine your birds.
Yeah, for sure. Have you
Hmm.
ever brined a turkey before? Like,
I have not
or
brined.
brined any turkey, I should say.
No, I have not
Yeah.
brined a turkey. I have brined a chicken, like a whole chicken.
Nice.
I've done whole chickens before, but I'm thinking about brining a turkey and smoking it.
Yeah, I actually have that down. Is like, have you ever tried deep frying or smoking the turkey at all? But I want to see the deep fry thing. I want to be a part of the deep fry thing. I think it's so cool and
Yeah.
fuck is it good. Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
so good, especially when the skin's
Yeah.
on it. Oh,
We deep fried, or shouldn't say I deep fried, but um, the in-laws deep fried a turkey one time,
mm,
and I was there for that.
mm-hmm.
You just got to be real careful and real slow, and
And make sure that some bitch is thawed out. Make sure it's
make
thawed out
sure
right.
you have a thawed out turkey and you put it in the pot slowly. A lot of people like that. Oil and water do not get along, and if your turkey's not
Mm-mm.
thawed out, that ice crystals, when it hits the hotness, it starts melting and the water gets in,
Mm-hmm.
and then it bubbles. And if you've never heard that, it is one of the most ominous noises you've ever heard. Just this deep,
Mm.
then you're just like, yeah, it's such
Get the fuck out of there.
it's such a scary noise.
Yeah.
And then those turkey fryers are so big and they're outside, and they're all propane, so there's a flame underneath it, and people put them in too fast, and that bubbles up, and the grease is ridiculously flammable, and that all comes out and it hits the fire and just woof, and there goes your fucking day, man. You got to be careful when you got to know.
Fucking day.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing with that. But it's not that hard. You just have to have a thawed out turkey and put it in slow, and that's it.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Right.
I
Yeah.
haven't
No,
done
yeah.
it before, but I know that that's the two things is like people fuck up with they use a turkey
Mm-hmm.
that's not fully thawed and they put it in too fast and they've
Mm-hmm.
no more eyebrows.
No more thanks day. It's more like a shit day instead.
Yeah. Just a fucking burnt hair day.
Yeah.
Nobody
And
gets
so,
to have turkey. We all get to smell your burnt fucking hair, Uncle Carl. God
way to
damn it.
go, damn it.
Jesus Christ.
So to more lean and well, this would be a hard meat too. And I know we have friends that can cook the hell out of some venison, but I have never had that. But that's what the Wampanoag brought to the party for protein. It sounds like is they were out deer hunting and they brought venison.
Oh, it makes sense. I
Oh,
bet there was so many
mhm.
back then.
Oh, right. And even now, right? If you think about it, it's deer hunting season in Minnesota
Yeah.
right now, leading up into and past Thanksgiving. There's a lot of deer hunting going on. I feel weird that I've never been to Thanksgiving with venison at it. It doesn't, I don't know. That just blew my mind when I read it. I was like, well, of course the Native Americans brought venison. There were probably fucking more deer. It was just like, what a nice protein to bring to a frickin' harvest festival.
Yeah.
I know people that get deers before Thanksgiving, yet still never been to Thanksgiving with deer on the table. I felt weird about that. Like, how did that happen?
I think it's just our families.
Yeah.
Like
Like we
I
don't
don't
have hunters immediately in our families.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Good
me
point.
neither. Yeah, I don't know. I at least on my like Thanksgiving for us has always been at my mom's house and like some of
Mm-hmm.
my dad's family would come. My
Mm-hmm.
mom's family lives further up north and I've never been to one of their Thanksgivings and they're the ones that would have the deer
Would
if
have it, sure.
yeah, if they had it. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
maybe they do have venison up there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We just never venture up that way for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we will for
Same.
Christmas, which is maybe we should
Oh.
try to switch that around because the roads are shit. And then we try to drive up to Brainerd where they're worse most of the time.
Right. That's funny. That's a good thought. Yeah, I've had Thanksgivings with like we used to do bigger Thanksgivings when we were kids. We'd go over to the cousin's house, and I had some uncles that hunted and stuff like that. So that's what made me think like, it's weird that nobody ever had a deer yet. But as we all grow up and start our own Thanksgivings, yeah, I don't have any immediate hunters now, but it'd be fun to start it again if I could ever get my ass out deer hunting, but
Yeah.
that's so much work.
Well, I would too. I just look at it like the cost of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much have what I need to go hunting if it's a weekend like last weekend. Like but it's
Oh,
not
because it was so
ever.
warm here,
They're like fucking
in
70 degrees,
early
man.
November, or yeah, in early November we have some decent weather.
Yeah. And you can get out there and it's okay, but like I don't have like the cold weather like camo and I
Mm-hmm.
don't own anything bright orange. So I'd have
Right.
to go buy that stuff. But then
Mm-hmm.
once you take it out, then you gotta have somebody process it and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have storage space for that much meat. And I
Right.
also look at it like that much money can be spent on the other hobbies, you know?
Right. Yeah. Again, back to the episode that started off November with the cost of a hobby, right?
Yep. Right, exactly. And it's like we got enough expensive hobbies, to
Right, to pick up another one, our wives would fucking kill us.
right. Just like wish me luck, because if I get a deer, we're gonna drop another $300. She'd probably just be sitting at home like, God, I hope he doesn't get a fucking deer.
I don't want to pay to have it processed. But hobbies that we're already into that were likely there, and this is again, this is because mostly a thing with my sister and my mom. The fish thing. They don't eat fish really. It's just like
My wife either.
Yeah, and my wife, she doesn't eat fish, so again, the 1861 harvest celebration probably had fish at it, eel,
Oh, for sure.
shellfish. Like, dude, I want to bring the fish tradition back. I want to do that so bad. I love fish. Like, dude, some fried fish with your turkey. I'm in.
Yeah, dude. I bet they had fish for sure, but I wonder what what part of America was it? Do
So it's
they
New England. It's the New England area.
Yeah,
Like
that's
all
what I
of basically, like I said back in the beginning of this, that Sarah Hale wrote
yeah.
Northwood, A Tale of New England. So it's that whole upper New England, Boston, Massachusetts, that
Yeah.
area.
So it's basically like all the same fish that we have here.
Yeah, except for eel. I had eel. Oh, and shellfish, right? Because of they can go out into the harbor and they can get themselves some
Yeah, the
lobsters and
hab.
shit. Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
oh, dude, lobster at Thanksgiving, fucking a.
That would be good. But I wonder like what they had, like what they could do. That far
With a
back
lobster?
that far back I wonder if they knew how to do
What
any
do
of
you
that
mean?
stuff.
Just
Like,
boil it
well,
and crack it open.
no, like I know that they'd be able to figure out how to cook it, but like,
Oh.
did they know how to catch it? Like, were there
Oh,
Native
yeah.
Americans in? Well, I suppose the uh the pilgrims that came over could have. They have boats, so they obviously know something about the water. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I just that's what now I'm like thinking about all the possibilities. I wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
thinking about what they could get, and it's like, like, did they know how to use cages or whatever to catch these lobsters?
Mm-hmm.
Were there DNR regulations where they just netting everything and just grabbing whatever they got?
Oh, there was definitely no regulation. I can tell you
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, though, because a lot of animals got over harvested, right? Not because of Thanksgiving, but like way back in the day, that just happened. There was a lot of over harvesting of animals because there were no regulation. And I
Oh,
say
right.
back in the day, I mean, we're talking the 1600s, dude. I'm talking about back in the day and like still in the 19 somethings where things were being overhunted.
Right. Oh, I could see that for sure. Like if you didn't have any regulations, there weren't rules or anything. I know just on the outskirts of town. Like I'm talking, I get in my car and drive a minute out, deer everywhere. And if they didn't have any
Oh yeah,
regulations, if I needed like it was back in the day and I just needed some food, for sure I'm just driving a
driving out
mile
there and
out of town and
right. Yeah,
got
taking a
me
deer, going
dinner
home.
for the next couple months.
Right.
And I wouldn't be the only one. We'd all be doing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. uh, the so yeah, this is the fishing part where I said we'd get to fishing. So yeah, dude, they had to have had traps. I actually didn't look into that because I didn't think about it like you did. Which so you make a really good point. But the thing that got me was eel. I was like, eel, what? A
Yeah.
fucking eel?
Hmm.
There's American eel, I guess, over there.
I've
Just
heard of it, but
yeah.
I didn't know where you had to go to get it.
Yeah,
And
it's the estuaries is kind of where read up on it is they're freshwater, but an estuary is the mix of the sea and the freshwater together.
yeah.
Yeah, and so like that's kind of where they would find those. It seems, or that's their habitat. So they would hit those estuaries up and grab some eel, throw it on the table.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
odd. I guess I never even thought about eating eel. Like when you
yeah.
even say it, like all I can think about is that I forget uh which of the Indiana Jones it was, if it was the Temple of Doom. All I can think about is that like they have that snake on the table. I don't know if you've ever seen it where
I don't know if I mean I'm sure I did as a kid, but I
yeah,
don't recall it. So go.
there's like some dinner scene and they have like all this weird food and there's like this snake on the table and they cut it open and there's like a bunch of little snakes inside of it. And like when
Oh
they cut it
God.
open, like it's just normal to everybody. They just cut it open and they're like,
What?
Yeah,
What?
all I remember is, like, as soon as you said eel, I just pictured like this big squirming
Ugh.
thing that they're like trying to cut open on the table, and clearly that's
Yeah.
not how it would be served. But that's all I could
Right.
think about.
Some asshole just brings the fresh eel to the table. Thump.
Right,
I'm gonna cut this open right here on the table. Fucking don't mind the blood next to the cooked food.
right.
That's so disgusting. But yeah, I was just like, well, of course there were fish. The eel stood out to me though, because they're so, like you said, they're just long and like slimy and like, just think about a long snake. Ugh.
Mhm.
Um,
They have
hmm?
the eel has like a wide body though. It's not like a snake. Like I've just never
You're
thought
right.
about
Yeah, a good
eating
point.
one. Where
Yeah.
once it's dead and it's not moving and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
that's got to be like the whole side, unless it has a skeletal structure like a snake does. Because they have
Right.
like it's like a rib cage that runs all the way down.
And a snake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But I wonder if because they're in water, I wonder if they don't have that same
yeah,
skeletal structure.
and if they
Huh.
don't,
I'm
is
gonna
that
have to
just
look up eels.
one giant fillet the whole way down?
Right. Could you imagine, dude? Awesome.
Yeah, it's just like fish. Yeah, that would totally make sense then. Where they're just like, we need to fish for a lot of people. I'm gonna catch 2 eels. And
Right. Yeah. And I'm gonna feed a buttload of people with
right.
it. uh so one of the things that we do now in my family, because we did, here there's a lot of are they gourds? What the fuck is it called? Like,
Yeah.
what is a zucchini and stuff like that called? I can't even think of it.
Are those all in the
Is
squash
it?
family, or are those
Yeah, I was
gourds
gonna say,
too?
are they just squash? I don't know. But anyways, that's
Yeah,
what
I
it
think
is.
I think yeah, I think a zucchini is technically called a zucchini squash.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think, yeah, those are big around Thanksgiving for sure.
Yeah.
So we actually got one. We got a squash and it started a squash risotto recipe. I fucking love it, dude. I
Ooh.
had never eaten like gourds before. So to say, I had never eaten them. And then we got the squash risotto recipe, dude. Oh my God. It's just butter, onions, garlic, white wine. You put your traditional herbs in it, like rosemary and shit like that.
Yeah.
Uh, you got to roast the squash, cutting one of those things in half raw, because you got to cut it in half and then salt, pepper, oil it, and get it in the oven. Dude,
Hmm.
cutting one of those in half is so hard. They're so dense. It's insane.
Really?
Like oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever done it before, but like we used to eat squash like a lot when I lived at
Really?
home with my parents. Yeah, like Shannon's not into any of that stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
squash or sweet potatoes or any of that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
squash, we used to. My mom would cut it open and then she'd roast them, and then just
Mm-hmm.
brown sugar and butter in the squash, and like
Yeah.
that's dope just by itself.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. I mean, that's what we do too. Just no brown sugar in this risotto. It's the same thing. You just roast it up, because then you mash it up. You throw it in on the arboro rice. God, I don't know. I even asked Sarah how to say that, but there's a specific kind of rice you use for risotto, and
Okay.
you throw it in there, and oh my God, it's so good with that. You got to slowly ladle the broth into the risotto rice, and then you just throw in the mashed up squash, dude. I just love it. It's like my favorite new tradition. It's the only new tradition that we have in my
Nice.
family, and it's awesome.
That sounds dope. I want to try it. And as far as like pronunciation goes, if anybody wants to tell us the right way to say that, and also since I said it, I've been in my head about it. Is it eels or eel? Like
Oh
deer
God,
and
here we
deers?
go. Here we go with the deers and beers thing
I'm
again.
I'm always just curious. Like when I said
Somebody help.
eels, like I'll catch 2 eels, and I was like, is that right? Is plural with the S, or is it
That's a
just
good
I'll
question.
catch 2 eel? Because that sounds right too.
That sure does.
So, anyways, tell us, is it
Anyway,
eels or eels, and is it boro or whatever? How do you say it?
how do you say it? Please leave a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, how if I was gonna make uh a recipe with that rice and make some risotto that had eel in it, would I be making some boro rice with my eels? Let us know.
Damn good question. With the cranberry or with traditional stuff, damn, I buried the lead. With the traditional foods, the canned cranberries, dude. Do you guys still do the canned cranberries? We cut those out.
I don't do any fucking cranberries. Cranberries can go suck
Fuck
a fucking
cranberries.
dick, bro.
And
Everybody
we come
has.
from the cranberry area too.
Yeah,
Wisconsin is fucking huge in cranberries, dude.
this might be an unpopular opinion right now with that whole cranberry juice video going viral with that dude just
What?
like rolling on. You ever seen that?
Oh, yeah, dude,
The
that guy's
guy on.
fucking sick, dude.
Yeah,
He's
that.
riding that longboard down
Yeah.
a hill just drinking some ocean spray.
Yep, that guy is. But then they're like ocean sprays all trying to drink the cranberry juice, and then they have like everybody drinking cranberry juice, and I'm like, I'm not making one of those videos. Cranberry juice can go fuck itself. I don't like cranberries, bro. Don't put your cranberry juice in my vodka. I don't want anything to do with your shitty fruit. Like, there's so
Cranberries are
many.
fucking gross.
There are so many better fruits. Why are we fucking with this garbage fruit? I'm not. Sorry, that's my opinion. Get it out of here. I don't want it. Yeah, I see that
Nope.
people have that cranberry jelly or whatever, and they're just like, I hear people are just like, oh, I made some real stuff. I don't use the stuff in the can. I say, I bet it still tastes like shit. I don't want it.
Just so you know, the stuff in the can is the same shit that they made. Look in the ingredients. Like, you don't have it at Thanksgiving, so you're not really going to get this opportunity, but you'll walk by an end cap here in November and you'll see it. Grab it. It probably has 3 things in it: cranberries, sugar, or corn syrup, or something like that. Maybe a little bit of water and citric acid for preservative. That'll be it. Because there's
Isn't there
the
gelatin in
jelly.
that too?
No, that's what I thought. So that's why I looked it up, because I was like, how the fuck do they get like that? Cranberries have that built in.
Oh, they just congeal on their own?
Yeah, you just cook them long enough and they start to do that. They have the component needed to form that. There's no gelatin in it. Isn't that odd?
That is odd. Any
Yeah.
Muslims listening to this right now? There's your way to make jello and not have pork in it. Figure that shit out.
Because of animal hooves. That's how gelatin is normally made.
Yeah,
But yeah.
the pig hooves is the like number one source of gelatin. But if you could just cook cranberries and then make
Make gelatin out of it.
All right, cranberries. I'm starting to
Okay.
see your upside here, but I still don't like you.
I've heard that ocean spray is been one of the biggest lobbies to make sure that juice doesn't get a definition by the FDA because there's so much sugar in it. The FDA is like, that ain't juice, just so you know. And cranberry, like, I've heard that ocean spray is like, what are you talking about? Nobody's going to drink this shit if there's not a ton of sugar in it. These are bitter as fuck.
Yeah. Just like, have you had cranberries? They suck. That's how we get people to drink it. It's mostly sugar with a little bit of cranberry, man.
Ocean Spray's going to hear this and they're going to pull this podcast. But
Ocean Spray doesn't have the power to pull our podcast. Ocean Spray can go suck a wiener. Although if you do skateboard, did you hear that guy got the reason
hooked
he was
up.
the reason he was skateboarding was because his car was having issues, like it just wouldn't start something. So he recorded himself and Ocean Spray hooked him up with a new truck filled with Ocean Spray.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, so yeah. As far as the company, okay, maybe like that's cool what you did there. But let's be honest, we're just not fans of cranberries over here. There, said it.
No, yeah, like if you show up with a truck for me filled with cranberry juice, I'm gonna be like, appreciate it, Ocean Spray, and then wheel my dumpster over and start tossing all the juice in. No, I wouldn't just throw it away. I'd bring it to a food shelf or whatever.
That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna have to drive that truck to the nearest donation center.
Yeah, and all the homeless people would turn their noses up at it like, oh, cranberry juice. What, I'm trying
Oh.
to ward off a urinary tract infection? Get this shit out of here.
That was last week. I'm fine now.
Yeah, I haven't slept in that dumpster where I got it anymore. I don't need this shit.
So let's bring Thanksgiving all the way back to the great American tradition holiday, or
Yeah, we got a
tradition
little
of the holiday.
slightly derailed.
No, we were talking about the food. We were totally on topic. We're good.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back to the best thing to come out of Thanksgiving since Thanksgiving itself, Black Friday.
Ooh.
The old American tradition of Black Friday.
Yeah.
Here's a little fun fact. So it's always been fourth, the first one, Lincoln, November 26th. Same as this year, which is cool. Then, it got set in stone there Thursdays. Just hang out on the fourth Thursday. Then FDR in 1939 was like, hey, let's move this shit up a week. Let's get that holiday season shopping going.
Mm-hmm.
During the Depression, he seriously moved it up a week so that way we could shop more. Now, if that ain't American
Nice.
tradition, huh?
Right. Let's get
He's
it.
like,
Yeah, there's just where I wonder if it was like the Christmas music too. Like everybody nowadays, they're
right,
like,
you wait for Black Friday to turn on the Christmas music.
Halloween's over. Start it now. Like,
Go.
They don't even wait till that. It was today. My wife was excited about it. It was today that they started playing Christmas music. They don't wait till Black Friday.
Oh my God.
I know.
We wait. I wait in my family. We do. We start Christmas music sometimes if we're drunk enough, Black Friday night. Or Thursday, Black Friday morning. Yeah.
I tell her
Black
to turn
Friday
that
morning.
shit off. I don't allow, like, when she's not around, I'm like, I can't tell you what to listen to. But I said, I don't listen to Christmas music until Thanksgiving is over. I'm fine with Black Friday, whatever. Like, the holiday's over. You can celebrate the next one now.
Yep.
But
I'm that way too.
I do not like it. It makes me mad for Thanksgiving. Like,
I know.
I just want to be like, show Thanksgiving some fucking respect.
Dude, me too. It's exactly the same way I feel. Exactly the same way. That's why I'm like, I hear this 1939 move by FDR is completely purely an economic move, and I'm like, ugh. So then in 1941, Congress moved it back, and I'm like, And then I think about the last 5 years, and I actually worked retail, not in the last 5 years, but I worked retail when this really, really kicked into gear. But you remember when Black Friday was a thing? And then all of a sudden it was like, nah, man, we're Walmart. We just open at 7:30 in the morning on Thanksgiving and all the deals begin.
Right. They just completely fucked it all up.
Totally. And started eating. Like, now all those people have to go to work on Thanksgiving. Remember when it used to be closed on Thanksgiving and they had to be to work at like midnight at the very least?
I wonder what happens down the road here, or even this year. Like, things got real weird because it was like the last maybe 2 or 3 years where all of a sudden they're just like, we're opening Thanksgiving night. And you're like, that's pretty fucked. And now, because of COVID, you got Black Friday deals starting now.
Dude, they started on November 1st, like Black November, but everybody just like, Black Friday, Black Friday. They just keep calling it Black Friday. And it's just like, okay, but this is seriously the whole month.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
it is.
Like, I haven't really looked into it yet, though, where they're just like, there's crazy good deals. And I get flyers and then like in the mail, and I look through them, and it's just like, I don't know, none of this is like Black Friday where you're just like, that TV's only $100.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't
really seen those either. Yet. No, me neither. It's not really jumping out. Like, they're advertising like it's the craziest fucking season of all seasons of all time. And I'm just like, this isn't, I don't know. Just give me my one day. I'm fine.
Yeah. You've never seen anything like it before. And you're just like, well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I haven't seen this many. I've never been sent this many advertisements through the mail
Oh,
before, for sure.
yeah, dude, because the economy just took that huge hit and still hasn't really recovered. I mean, we're not in like the Great Recession type of situation we were, when we first started working, basically. But it's, it took such a huge hit. Everyone's trying to do everything they can to make up for it, and this is one way. But you're right on what will this mean for 2021, 2022 going forward is like maybe that cannibalization of Thanksgiving that was happening can get pulled back a little bit. We can only hope, because I fucking was so sick of that.
Yeah, it was stupid, man. I mean, you went from like Thanksgiving is supposed to be a day where everybody's together and
Hmm.
you know just
Yeah, hanging out
hanging
with
out,
family and
giving
enjoying
thanks.
and getting fucking over full and drinking and
Yeah, and then you could just be like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, dinner's over and we're just gonna drink, and then
yeah.
now it's like, well, I can't drink because I gotta go shopping at 7 o'clock because I want to get these
Hmm.
deals and I can't
Right.
wait until the
Because I get it the
fucking
fucking
morning.
$99 Power Wheel.
Yeah, used to get ham town by fucking 6 o'clock, pass out
Yeah.
at like 7, and then I'd sleep all night, and then
Right.
I'd be okay to get up at 4 o'clock because I passed out at 7.
Right.
And now I'm to the point of passing out, and I gotta drive a car. Way to be responsible, Walmart. Make
Yeah, it's your fault.
yeah, this is your fault that I'm driving shit face. Not just uh
Don't drink and
the
drive, kids.
yeah, don't drink and drive, kids. A little disclaimer: I definitely am not drinking and driving. I have somebody else drive.
I get drunk and find a DD.
I get hammered and make bad choices.
Bad financial choices because it looks like a good deal and I'm intoxicated.
Can you believe this necklace was only $300? It was originally $2,000. I don't know who I'm gonna give it to, but that's a fucking deal.
But I can't pass up this sweet deal. It's impossible. Yeah, I think we have the same Black Friday traditions then. I'm very surprised how we're like on the exact same page now. Come on, retail 2021. Don't
Hmm.
eat fucking Thanksgiving alive with your greed. Let people enjoy it with their fucking families.
Yeah, just have Black Friday be on Black Friday. Why is Black Friday on Thursday? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I agree. The hashtag make Black Friday Friday again. That's what we're going to do when we're promoting this.
Yep, that's what it should be. Or like I like the 3 day sales too, where like Fleet Farm is just like,
Oh, yeah, but it
yeah,
doesn't start till Friday. Then it
right,
goes Saturday
yeah,
and Sunday, and they extend it all weekend. It
hmm,
starts on Friday, and then it goes, yeah. And the Target does that. I love the way Target does it because they stagger them. So they'll have the Friday sale, and then they'll have the Saturday sale, and then they'll have the
yeah,
Sunday sale, and they're only available on those days. I think it's fucking sweet.
yep. And Fleet Farm, if you're listening and you heard about last episode where I was like, your people aren't great, I'm bringing it back around. Fleet Farm, I'm giving you love here. You keep it traditional. You don't open until Friday morning like a regular business should. And then
Yep.
you're just like, yeah, it's a Black Friday sale, but you can get the deals on Saturday and Sunday too if you want them. I'm like, yeah, Fleet Farm.
Fuck yeah.
That sounds like a good plan, Fleet Farm. Can you put more of your fishing stuff on sale though, please? That would be nice.
That's what I was gonna say. So, as is tradition now for the holiday stuff, for our holiday specials, let's bring it to fishing here as we wrap it up. Do you get deals in like the fishing area? Because Fleet Farm, and I don't think Fleet Farms are outside of this part of the country, but like your local farmer joint, their giant hardware store or whatever. Fleet Farm, they get that giant toy land inside it. Shields, the sporting goods store, they get a giant toy thing inside of it. I I get blinded by those things from marketing, and I miss out on sort of the outdoors part of it. Do they put the outdoor stuff on sale? Can you get good fishing deals on Black Friday?
Yes, you can. But I I don't see like real good deals on a lot of the like I mean, maybe there's rod and reel combos out there and stuff that they have on sale sometimes, but I think they put stuff on sale that are like the bigger purchase items. Like my depth
Mm.
finder I bought on Black Friday
Oh,
because the
very good.
electronics, like they're, that's the kind of shit where they're like, they
Yeah.
can make it seem like it's a good deal. Originally
Right.
$550. This is a $350 unit this time. And you're just like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
yep. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yep.
That sounds like a
Yep.
good deal. But um uh I think I've seen some ice fishing stuff, but that's also too where that's when it's a little bit tricky for them because they don't really want to put those on too big of a discount because they know people are going to buy them even if they don't put them on a big old sale.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you need this shit to go ice fishing. If you want to
Right.
go, you're gonna buy it.
Right.
So I I've seen some deals, but it's mainly like on the bigger purchase items. Like we got a good deal on an AquaView camera system. Where it's the camera that you can actually watch the fish. Like the ice fishermen use
Mm-hmm.
them a lot, where they have the
Mm-hmm.
two the holes right next to each other. You'll have your jig and stuff, and you got your like Vexlar. Or Vexlar is a specific brand. There's
A brand.
Vexlar
Yep.
and there's Markham and all them. They call them flashers, where it's a depth finder, but it just
Mm-hmm.
you see the different colors and you can see where your jig is, and you can kind of see the like little line of uh color come close to your jig, and you know that like, oh, there's a fish coming close.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're using that flasher, all you know is that there's a fish, like, oh, he's got to be like right on my jig. But they'll use that aqua view so they can actually see what's happening.
Yeah, it's literally a
And
camera you put into the water.
yeah, and stuff like that is always on sale. Like
Yeah.
the aqua views and the depth finders and
Mm-hmm. The
um
electronics are
yeah,
easy to put on sale because
yeah.
that's out like right now in 2020. The last 10 years is electronics have been huge for Black Friday. Like that's been one of the driving forces behind Black Friday
Hmm.
traditionally is just electronics in general.
Yeah, and I think one of the things too, I'll be 100% honest, as far as like regular fishing stuff goes, I don't know if I've really shopped for it much that time of year because
Mm,
you're starting to get into ice fishing and you're already spending a
mm-hmm.
bunch of money on
Mm-hmm.
everybody else. That's
Right.
traditionally when you're
Yeah.
trying to get good deals so you can get
Yep.
everybody else's Christmas done and not spend a
Right.
shit ton of money. Or for me, it's I I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's selfless and I'm trying to like going above and beyond or whatever,
No.
but like
No.
we always try to set dollar limits on like the nieces and nephews,
Mm-hmm.
where we're just like, we're gonna spend so much money on them, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I'm gonna go get a bunch of deals on Black Friday because this is how much we're gonna spend on them, but I'm gonna stretch that money out, and I'm still gonna
Mm-hmm.
get them a lot of shit for Christmas.
Hell yeah, dude. Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
so that's what I'm like. I'm focused on spending money on everybody else.
Right.
I don't get me wrong, I do buy shit for myself on Black Friday.
Right,
But
right, right.
but I'm normally not going for like the regular fishing stuff because I'm just gonna buy it and have to set it aside until spring anyways. So there
Right.
haven't been a
Mhm.
lot of times where I'm trying to go out and buy new rod and reel and everything, but
Right.
for sure I'm just like, oh, that air fryer is half off? Yeah, I'll take one of them, please.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That's how we got our
Uh,
air fryer last year.
yep. Oh, dude, for sure. Those like appliances like that, those countertop appliances like that, such a good time to get it. And that's also fish. You can put fish in that air fryer.
Uh, I haven't made fish in the air fryer yet, but
Okay.
I worked with a guy that was telling me how he tried to do like a batter, like
Like a wet batter.
yeah, the wet batter. He said that did not work. It just made a mess.
Yeah.
But it
You
was
probably
like,
have to do the deep fry, like at least a low deep fry or like a par deep fry, and then throw it in the air fryer.
yeah, I think you got to do, yeah, like start it off like battered, pre-battered, like frozen stuff where
Mm-hmm.
they do like that flash fry where they partially cook
There it
it
is.
and then you finish it off. That works
Right,
really
flash
good in
fry.
there.
Yeah, flash fry. That was the word I was looking for. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yep.
like I don't think I've tried anything homemade in it yet.
Hmm.
Like
Interesting.
it's all been like frozen, like
Yeah, you buy like
mozzarella,
the chicken wings and shit
yeah,
ahead of time.
mozzarella sticks, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it works really dope for all that stuff. Like it comes out nice and crispy, and
Right.
um, reheating stuff is also really good.
Oh
Like you
yeah,
might
for
not
sure. I
think
bet.
about it because it just circulates the air and shit. Like I've
Right.
reheated pizza in
It's
there.
like a convection oven, is what it
Yeah,
really is. It's just
I,
a small convection oven.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I made. Oh, you can like spray a little bit of oil on it too. That's what I do sometimes. I'll just
Mm.
take like the pan and just hit it with some oil, so that way it's like
Mm-hmm.
circulating the air, and the like the little tiny bit of oil that's on it kind of almost like does the same thing as like
Mm-hmm.
when you fry it, you know.
For sure.
But like I reheated some fried pork chops in there that I deep fried.
Ooh.
Yeah, took a pork loin, chopped that up into the boneless chops, deep fried a shit ton of them because it was getting almost to the expiration date. So I'm like, well, we'll just cook it all up now, and then we'll have some leftover pork chops. Reheated those later in
Mm-hmm.
the air fryer. Oh man,
Oh
telling
fuck
you,
yeah, dude.
get you an air fryer to reheat stuff and cook frozen foods and stuff, man. And if you got kids, dude, those chicken nuggets are bomb.
No, fuck yeah, dude. And that's a new Thanksgiving tradition. Keep Black Friday on Friday so that way you can reheat some fucking leftovers from the lunch dinner you just had when you're drinking on
Oh,
Thanksgiving. That is keep Black Friday on Friday because I want some reheated fucking pork chops on
s-
Thanksgiving night. Or
oh my
take
gosh,
some
dude!
turkey, dude. Take some turkey
Right?
breast, some of that dry ass turkey breast, spray some Pam on that shit, throw it in the air fryer.
Oh
Just half in
my,
the bag at fucking 10:30 on Thanksgiving night. Oh.
that I wasn't even thinking about it. Or you got your deep fried turkey you need to reheat, and you don't want to just
Mm-hmm.
microwave it, throw it back in there, and it skins crispy again.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Oh fuck yeah. All right. That's a great note to end the first ever Real AF TV podcast Thanksgiving special. I don't I don't have a voice or any sound for that. Like, what sound do you use? Gobble gobble, motherfucker. Like, I don't know what to use for that.
Dude, I don't know. Like when you said like what sound do you use? The only thing that popped in my head was like what the I don't know what noise that was, but that's what popped up in my head.
It's better than what I came up with because I just went exactly. That's what I was gonna do. All right. This has been the Real AF TV podcast, the show where we usually talk about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes, but it's the end of the year, so we're doing holiday specials for you. If you didn't catch the Halloween one, you're probably not going to listen to it on Thanksgiving because it's Christmas time, and we're going to have one of those coming up too. Tim, this was fun. We obviously love food, so there's going to be more food. Please leave us your Thanksgiving traditions. We got Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Engage with us. You can find it all at realaf.tv. You can find us just that's where all that connections are in one place. Make it simple.
Yeah. And for sure let us know because I don't really have many traditions and I would be okay with doing some. But don't come at me with that whole you should watch Charlie Brown's fucking Magic Big Pumpkin or whatever. That shit sucks. I know we're from Minnesota and we're supposed to be like,
You gotta
peanuts.
love
No,
Charles.
I don't. No, no thanks. I'm not. I watched the Christmas one for the one scene where they all dance and that's it. I'm done with it. It's too slow. I can't do it. I can't. One time, fine. Like if somebody's like, you gotta watch this, sure, I'll watch it. But